Okay guys, I hope the contrast is good enough for you to see the ball. Got a 4-iron here. I'll just hit some, I'll just clean this club. Okay, yeah, because there's a really strong crosshead wind. Okay, so guys, it's going to be, and you watch the flight. It's not, the swing looks out of control, but the flight doesn't. The flight is not out of control. Look at this, guys, look. And look at the flight for a 4-iron. And this is a strong 4-iron. Just let it go. I wouldn't appeal to Count Yogi's mantra, just look elegant. I look about as elegant as a giraffe on speed. I'm not as tall as a giraffe, so maybe an orangutan on speed. That's the ball flight, guys. That's the ball flight. And what am I thinking? I'm not thinking anything. I'm just get a back JH and then drive. Get all this over there. And the earlier you can drive, the more it will eliminate you ever coming over the ball with your shoulders. If you can drive, you'll be driving underneath. I want to have more secondary tilt when I hit the ball. I want to develop that because Mike Dunaway and Mike Austin had a lot of that. I've always had it, well, not always, but used to race cars and I injured my back a couple of times in accidents, and one on a motorcycle. I used to race motorcycles too. And the lower lumbar area is not great. But that's the ball flight, guys. It's just, I just hope you can see it. Okay, what did I want to tell you? This is what I wanted to tell you. But looking at that swing, as ungainly as it is, you'd think the ball flight would be ungainly, but it's not. It's ballistically great. Now the other thing is, guys, a lot of people when they're hitting pitch shots, they're hitting a 70, 80, 90, 100 pitch shot, and I see the club player. And I see the anxiety that they go through in setting up for a pitch shot. And getting here, get them to weight set and weight left and staying left and taking it back. And invariably they hit it over here. That's always the bane of the club player. The mid to high handicapper club player, in that they hit their short irons left. They hit their short irons left, guys, because they get static over the ball, take it back, and then they hit it with their shoulders, rather than driving with their lower body and having their hands actually quite passive. So I'll just hit a shot up here. There's a fence post up here. I know exactly what the distance is from here. It's about 85. And guys, you watch it. This is very, very similar type action. There's not as much drive because it's only a smaller shot, but it's here. Look at the finish, guys. Look at the finish. That landed at about 86. About a yard past the post. Now, can you imagine anyone looking like that was going to hit an accuracy shot like that? No, because they freeze up. And even if you go, say you've got one 35, 40 yards. Okay, I've got a pitching wedge here, but I probably have a gap wedge. Not that I've ever used one. That's a silly thing to say, JH. I've never used a gap wedge, and I've never used a lob wedge, because I come from the old school and we did everything with the pitching wedge and the sand iron. But for the club player, gap wedges and lob wedges. But maybe you could hit well, most of the sand irons these days are strong anyway. They're all 50, 52 degrees, 53, 54 degrees. They're always 56, 57 in our day. Hogan's 5-iron in his day was 32 degrees. My 5-iron is 26 degrees. And most clubs today, some of the Japanese clubs have got 5-irons that are like 22 degrees. But this is just a little deft shot. But the same, don't be scared of it. Get in here, just finish like this. Feel like the club is a piece of macaroni, and feel like you've got licorice legs. And conversely, if you want to nuke one, say you want to hit a 130 wedge, talking about us, not talking about the tour players. I mean, for me, a nuked wedge is probably 135, and if I really go after 140, the conditions have to be perfect. But normally, wedge for me is like 125. But that's full control. But this one will go probably 140. But I'll still have the control. Look at this, guys. Look. Tell you when it comes down. Now, that's gone about 140 yards. Okay, you wouldn't want that, but the good thing about it, guys, I can hit it that hard and hit it so straight. And the advantage is that when you've got a club with more loft on it, your accuracy is going to be improved anyway, because the backspin creates accuracy. That's why I never practice with short irons, because they're too easy to hit. And people used to think that I was just arrogantly blasé. So guys, why would I practice with 8-iron, 9-iron wedges? You're going to hit them straight every time, because the backspin, even a bad swing, will be disguised by the backspin. Okay, you might pull it or push it, but invariably the flight, even though you pull, it's usually straight. That's why it's always hard to hook a short iron, because of the excessive backspin. Okay guys, I'll see if I can hit 150. I won't, but I'll think I am. Look where I am. Now that's crazy. That's as far as I hit an 8-iron. And no, that's just dead straight. Okay, you wouldn't have all this transfer on a real little, delicate little pitch shot, just where you want to just pitch it onto a green and run, because you don't want excessive body movement in that, because it's too hard to control. So yeah, you wouldn't use it for that. But anything, 50 and longer, yeah. So what does that look like? That look like an uninhibited pitching wedge swing. It's just so straight. And if you can do it slower and give yourself more time and get the drive going earlier, like that. But even slower. Make the transition slower, but make the drive harder. Like that. Wow. As opposed to a conventional golf swing with a wedge where I want to hit it, you know, probably 130. This is what I do, conventional swing. Now that's right on the money, but I pulled that. I pulled that about 5 yards. And that can happen. Even if you're a reasonable striker, that can happen, because if that lower body doesn't transition early, and you don't get the drive, even though it's not as much drive as with a forearm, that can happen. But I can't get that to happen with this golf swing. I've always been a pretty straight wedge player. That's been a good part of me, and I never practiced it, guys. So just, okay, we'll just do one here. That's as good as I can hit it. And that's just flown that conventional one by 10 yards. And that feels effortless, guys. And the thing is, you don't have to hang on tight. I've got no pressure in my grip. None. Absolutely zip. All I've got to work on is the transition. Make sure that I get that drive going early. And it's early days, guys. I'll be straight on. There it is. That's it. Wow. Just feels fantastic. Okay, guys. There'll be more coming. But as you can see, the ball flight, it's like that. All the shots are like that. It just goes straight. It's my old camera, but I didn't charge the battery. I'll just got another battery in my bag. I'll pull it out, put it on, and if the light's still okay, hit a few drivers up here, and you can have a look at the drivers. If not, Sunday I'll do some more. It's good to be back, guys. It's good to be back, and it's good to be back in the gym and getting a little bit of muscle back. I'm doing about, I can still do 100% of what I used to do, but I'm only doing about 75-80% because the instructors in there won't let me do anymore. The guys that I know, they just won't let me do anymore. They're all protective of me, even though it feels awful because the weights feel so light. But I'm getting back a bit of, I lost 6 kilos when I was in hospital. I've got back about 4.5, and it's, you know, I feel okay. So I'm on the road to recovery, guys. And for everybody that sent me, you know, good wishes and a like, I appreciate that. Tough, if people that have been sending me emails, it's tough to get back to all of them. I mean, in the early days when I came out of hospital, there's a lot of people that don't view my website but know me all over the place, and I was getting 150, 200 emails a day from people all around Australia and overseas. So it was hard to get back to those. That's dropped down now to about 50, which is great. So, but if I've missed you guys, I didn't do it deliberately. I always try and reply to everything on the channel. And guys, we're a small channel. I don't want to be a big channel. I don't want to have 100,000 subscribers because it's very hard to cater for them, and it's very hard to be personalised. You can't be personalised to that many people. I like to reply to every comment I get. And I like to help people out. If people have got a swing problem, they can send me a video. I won't charge them, I'll look at it. Now, I couldn't do that about 100,000 subscribers. And it would just take too much time. So the people that do follow me, like I might do a video and I might get 300 or 400 views. Some people get 75,000 views. But I don't want 75,000 views. I've had a couple of million views to date, and I don't even go with YouTube and get advertising money, guys. I'm not interested. All I want to do is just do my thing. This is basically, these videos are JH practice sessions and JH's experimentation and development. That's all they are. And if I can pass them on to people and it can benefit them, then I'm happy. But it's basically just JH's road to discovery. And I've been doing this for about 10 years now, and probably 2,500 videos. So, but there was 1,000 that got hacked, and I lost them. They were the early ones. But there's been a lot of development since then. Anyway, guys, I appreciate the small following we've got. and the support I get from the small following. See you on the weekend.